So I got a new crush sleeve here. I got it installed on the pinion shaft here. I'm about to put so I got the pinion shaft with the rear bearing, then the crush sleeve, then the front bearing, and now I'm about to put the seal on here. Once I get the seal on, I'll be able to put the yoke on with my washer and my nut, and then I'll be able to check the preload for it. So first step, I'm going to put the seal on and then start putting the yoke on and tightening it down. So this is my setup here, how I'm going to tighten this down. I got some thread locker sitting on the nut there, but basically I'm hoping that pipe wrench is going to hold, and it'll hold the pinion from rotating there. But I just got to tighten it down here, so you can feel when it contacts, so you can feel that the pinion shaft doesn't have any play in it anymore. And then there's just a little bit beyond that when you should tighten it to, and that's what I got my torque wrench here for. I'm gonna have to get a conversion here because I have a 1/4 inch drive torque wrench, but what you should have is, I believe it's between, I'll have to double check, but 14 to 19 inch-pounds of resistance continuously all the way around. So you want a continuous resistance when you're rotating and the pinion shaft around, and you want it to be between 14 and 19 inch-pounds. So I'll show you that one once I get there, but for now I need to start tightening this down. So what we're looking for here is, on rotating the pinion here, we want 14 to 19 inch-pounds. So as I'm rotating here, you see I'm not even getting to nearly 5 here, so I definitely need to go tighter. Excuse me. But that's the method of it. So I'm going to rotate it back down here and tighten it down some more, then see where we're at and try to get to that 14 to 19. So I've been tightening this thing down for a little bit. What I found is that if you go to the pinion shaft here, it's tough to see now because I got it pretty tight, or almost tight, but if you hold it with 2 hands, you can push the pinion shaft in and out. So what's happening is you're contacting the crush sleeve before the bearing hits the race. So basically you got to start crushing that before the bearing will get there. So you'll hit that crush point where it's really hard to turn the nut, but then you can move the pinion shaft in and out, and that's what you need to look for. Keep tightening it down until you get past that point, otherwise you're not going to gain any preload on your pinion shaft bearings. They're just going to sit there and stay at that same 2 to 5 inch-pounds that I had before. So I've been tightening this down, I've been giving it about 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn, check it, 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn and check it, and that way I don't go too tight and ruin my crush sleeve there. So what I'm doing here is running my torque wrench around, and basically what you do, you want to run full rotations and check your torque all the way around. So you want to be between that 14 and 19 inch-pounds. So make sure it's nice and smooth all the way around, and just kind of go through that. I got lucky. I stopped at 8 and then I tightened it up just a little bit more, and I'm hitting that 14 mark. I'm stopping since I got the new bearings. It's 14 to 19, so I got lucky on this one. Just got tightened down. So I guess that is the second crush sleeve I've used though. So if you go too much, new crush sleeve, start over. It sucks, but that's what you gotta do. And if you do it wrong, you're probably gonna wear out your pinion bearings way sooner than you should, and then that'll wear out your ring and pinion gears. So make sure you get it right, otherwise you're going to be rebuilding it again. So like I said, I got lucky and started on the carrier install. Now that I got my pinion shaft in, I put my carrier in, hopefully here for the last time. I left all the shims all the same, of course, and so what I'm going to do, I still haven't torqued down my end caps here. Excuse me, but after I do that, I'm going to check, put the grease on the ring gear again and make sure we're still hitting in the same spot, make sure everything's true there, and then also check the backlash. So put the dial indicator on, try to get 90 degrees to the ring gear there, and check the backlash. So I should be seeing that 6 to 10 thousandths on the backlash, and if all those are good and right, then I guess it's ready to just go back together. So when I torque my end caps though, previously I was using that, I believe it was 55 foot-pounds on these, and now that I'm putting it together, hope for the last time here, I'm going to go ahead and go all the way up to that 60 foot-pounds, just so that you get that little bit of extra stretch in there, so that they should stay nice and tight. I'm also going to throw some Loctite on them so they don't come out. Alright, so now that I got my carrier back in, just doing one more check on the backlash and the ring gear location. It's tough to see, I guess, in the video, but excuse me, the ring gear is hitting right in the middle, right where I want it to be. And I double checked, and again, this is a millimeter dial indicator, but 0.18 millimeters is about 7 thousandths. So now that I got it all together, everything's still all true. So as far as that goes, I'm ready to start throwing the axles back in, I guess after I get the wheel bearings in. But that's it. The carrier and pinion are in, so that was the hard part, getting those all shimmed straight. So now it's just a matter of simple reassembly.